Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle and I am here to take you on a journey and talk about these toys. A journey back to 2005, where the evil Decepticons attacked Autobot City, but before that, they ambushed an Autobot Shuttle, and on it were Ironhide and Prowl, as you can see in this set. And this set actually has the battle damage that they received on that horrible day when we lost so many of our heroes. But I'm gonna go through this set and I'm gonna see if it's worth putting in your honorarium of the dead for the Transformers and see if it's cool. Be right back. So yes, this set apparently started out as a joke. Someone said we should put, dead Ironhide and Prowl in a set and sell it. And that's apparently what they did. So I'm gonna open this up. It is plastic-free packaging except for glue and tape, apparently. So I'm gonna pop it open, but you can see them both in the packaging. You can see them in their vehicle modes, which once they got shot, they didn't have a chance to go into vehicle mode, so that's kind of weird. But let's go through. We have a couple packages of what should be antidepressants after this movie, but are likely accessories. And they have a backdrop in here. Now this backdrop actually shows the perspective of what they're looking at and not what would be behind them. So this is kind of weird that they would put this backdrop where the Decepticons came through. But this is part of the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series 86 Transformers the movie set. And it's got, as I said, Ironhide and Prowl, but what it does not have in this series is an accurate Megatron. I don't think we're gonna get a gun transforming Megatron in this set. It's a shame, but they've looked at doing that before, and apparently the colorations that they would have to put it into would be so ridiculous. So let's take a look at these guys. We don't need that. And what comes with them. And of course, we get the shitty piece of paper, because this wouldn't be a Transformer set without a shitty piece of paper and instructions. But let's take a look. So we have Ironhide and Prowl. Let's zoom in on their dying and dead bodies. And basically, this Ironhide is based on the Studio Series Ironhide that we got before, which was a slight change from the Earthrise one. And this is straight from the Earthrise into a Prowl form. And both of them have battle damage. And we're gonna take a look more at that. But let's take a look at the accessories that come with these guys. I am guessing these are guns for Ironhide. No, actually these are for Prowl. So Prowl gets his light bar on the back, and he gets his gun where he took an ineffective shot before he was killed by Scrapper of all Decepticons. I mean, he couldn't be taken out by like Starscream or Soundwave. He had to be taken out by one of the most whiny Constructicons out there. Breaks my heart that I saw Prowl go down from a Constructicon. Of course, Ironhide was blasted by Megatron himself, and we have a ton of blast effects in here. They're all purple, which doesn't really, I think they should be orange, I would think, but that's what we got. And then this little thing, I think this has to be Ironhide's guns. Two of them that he fired ineffectually. It's very sad that on that shuttle, first of all, Brawn, which they came out with a Studio Series. I wonder if they're gonna come out one with a blasted shoulder. But they dealt with these Autobots and they didn't take down one Decepticon. Come on, guys, what's going on? They didn't even hit one. Forget about, sending him to the afterlife. So there they are, fully armed and doomed. Doomed! Doomed! So let's take a look at Prowl first, because we've seen some Ironhides before. And as I said, he is, I have some guest stars, a redeco and slight remold of the Kingdom version. So you can see some differences here. He's got the gray thighs instead of the black thighs on his legs. The white seems a little whiter. It's a very, very subtle change. And whereas the Earthrise one has the full police on his doors, he just has this little symbol. But he also has this scarring of broken armor where he got shot. It does not come with the smoky eyes, which sounds like cosmetics, but it's not. And you can see on the back, the windows on the Studio Series are painted, whereas they were clear on the Earthrise. And I'm a little disappointed that he doesn't have the shoulder cannons. He usually does have shoulder cannons. But I guess that didn't come with my Earthrise either, because otherwise I'd have them on there. Unless I accidentally threw them out, which I think I did. You can also see in the heels in the back, these are black on the Earthrise. These are gray. So we actually should put those heels down. I guess I forgot to do it on my Earthrise too. There's also a difference in the wheels, because the Earthrise has black wheels with just you can see the white insert. Here it's white insert, but you can see there is actually some paint detailing on the wheel. So it is a bit redecoed. Everything else, the mold seems to be the same except for this. The gun appears to be identical. And I'm just gonna very quickly go through the posability because if you already have the Earthrise, you know he does a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's got a swivel on the legs, he bends at the knee, he can go to the side. He's got ankle rockers as well, the whole assembly swivels out. There's some good posing, you know, pose for your demise, my friend. I also noticed if you look in the top, the joints on the Earthrise are black, they're gray in here. So they went with a number of different, you know, slight changes. He also has on his torso, this part is gray, whereas this part is black. On the Earthrise, a lot more gray. The head, he does have the same red on the front, but whereas in the Earthrise, it encapsulates the entire, I guess, horns, whatever you call them. And here it's just on the front, so it's not on the rest of it. Probably a little more show accurate. And whereas the Earthrise, his face is very stoic and determined, this one, his mouth is a little bit open, so that, you know, he's basically been shot. So some minor remold changes on this guy. The arms, whoa, I just popped that entire thing off. I'm sure I could do it with the Earthrise too. But yeah, that seemed to slip out pretty easily. But I can do it on the Earthrise, so not really a change. So if he had been blown in half in the movie, you could definitely show that too. He was not. But twist at the waist, his arms can move in various directions. Of course, these wings make it so that you have to angle the arm a little bit in order to go all the way around. He swivels on the upper arm. His fists actually twist. Much easier to do it in the non-gun hand. His head, of course, turns, so you can look behind him to see there's Decepticons, get up, fire at them, and then die. Do I seem bitter? It was a rough movie. I always liked Prowl. He's a bit of a whiny bitch in the comics, but definitely very cool in the cartoon, even if his battle computer did go down. And friggin' Chip Chase used, what, a Commodore 64 to, like, make him battle better than he ever has before? That's kind of weird. Well, the legs go all the way forward, and they can go all the way back. So you can put him in all kinds of death poses. That fell off again. I need to pop this on a little bit better. But overall, good posability. I mean, just like the Earthrise. Now, he does have, I was looking at this and I'm like, okay, I can see the wound, but then what's this? And then I realized it's for a blast effect. So you can basically demonstrate that he just got blasted. He also has, and I'm not sure if they're supposed to be for that, because they don't look like they should be. I wonder if the blast effects will fit. So you can have him blasted in the shoulder, which they didn't really show that. It was mainly the chest. But he's blasted, he's down, he's dead. Rest in peace, noble Prowl. So if you look really close at the damage, it's not a ton. It's just right here, but that's him in a nutshell. The transformation, I suspect, is exactly the same as the Earthrise. But before we do that, I do want to see if there's any other things that they show as far as Prowl. You can attach his gun to the back. I must have skipped that part. But if he doesn't want to be carrying his gun, he can have it on the back there. They show it upward at an angle. Very awkward for him to reach, which seems odd, but you know, whatever. And the vehicle mode looks a little weird, I would think, with the battle damage, but we'll take a quick look. So there he is in his vehicle mode. The only weird thing, of course, is the damage. He rolls pretty much just like any other Earthrise. Doesn't go very far. The G1 could, like, blow this one away. Well, let's take a look at him closely. He's got a little bit similar. Now, one thing I'm noticing, this plate here on the top, right here, doesn't seem to want to go flush. It seems a little difficult to get into place. So you can push it down like that very easily. That might be just because this mold was used a lot, because it was used for Blue Streak and Smokescreen, I think, and Yeah, so that is definitely a minus, at least mine. I would love to know in the comments if you are experiencing the same thing with the Studio Series not popping quite into place. And I just popped it kind of out of place, the whole thing. But he's back, he's good. Well, except for this blast here. So there he is. Now you can put his gun in the top. It actually shows putting it to the side, which I think looks hokey. I'd rather put it by the handle, and then it can, you know, traverse and blast. But looking at the deco, so here is the original one. So looking at them side by side, again, you can notice the tinted windows have been painted over now. This one has no problem with his hood. This one does. The Autobot symbols are the same. This one has some damage. Here we have translucent headlights. Here they are painted blue. The light bar is black in the center on the Kingdom and white on this new one. And again, painted windows in the back. Painted taillights on the Kingdom, but no paint on the taillights for the Studio Series, which is interesting. Oversight, laziness, I don't know. Looking at the sides, you can see, well, first actually go to the front because we have the bumper. Here is gray where it's black on the Earthrise one. I already pointed out the tires, but you can see the tires are chromed silver on the inside for the hubcaps and not on the Earthrise. Here it says police, here it just has the shield. And the paint looks about the same as far as the same places. But there is some black paint here that is missing here, leading up to the headlights. So definitely some differences in the deco. And if you look at the bottom, they both have like head exposed. And somehow I accidentally turned his head, but it should be straight, but it's not a big deal. And it's certainly not interfering with pushing this damn thing up, which again, doesn't seem to want to go into place very easily. I don't want to force it too much because, you know, things break, but that's definitely a minus. But otherwise, the molds are pretty much identical. The red may be slightly brighter on the light bar than on the Studio Series than the Kingdom one. Very, very subtle. They're both like 4.5 inches long, and he's got black side view mirrors. He's got white ones. You know, so definitely they lightened him up because he's about to become an angel. Okay, okay. I don't know if he is joining Primus in Cybertron heaven, but if they believe in an afterlife, or if, you know, the spark will go on. But definitely some differences, but obviously very similar. That one actually rolled pretty well. So he doesn't roll as good as the Kingdom one. That's a shame. And again, you can put blast effects. Well, he could be shooting out of there, or he could be getting blasted right into his front grille if you want to rewrite history. Uh-oh, better get Mako. All right, that's an old commercial. Kudos to you if you realize it. So the white is slightly whiter on the new one, so because I was mixing up the guns. But overall, he's a good version, and it's paying homage to a very dark day. Up to you if you want to remember that day. All right, let's take a look at Ironhide. Now, Sky is a big fan of Ironhide. How you doing there, little Sky? And so she's come to join me for this part, though she may leave because, you know, it is a heartbreaking thing. So here we have Ironhide, again, pretty much identical to his Studio Series release, which was a bit of a remold and repaint from his Kingdom release, but they fixed a few things and re-engineered him a little bit. And he doesn't have that big ass shield, which, you know, could have also been a sled during the winter. But there he is, and he's got a big old damage right in his chest. And he's got, looks like you can put a nice big blast effect in him too. So, oh, Megatron, oh damn you, motherfucker. And Sky knows I need comfort going through this video, so. And of course, real quick, Jean-Claude Van Damme, twists at the waist. You can get rid of his damage. If it were only that easy. Knees bend, goes forward and back, though going forward. He's got this groin protector that you need to move forward if you really want him to kick forward. Swivels, ankle rockers, all the normal stuff. Arms go all the way around, head turns, you know, so good posability, and there he is on the back. Now let's take a look. His face, I think the Studio Series had like an additional face that you could use, but next to the Studio Series, you can see there are some differences. One, this one doesn't have a big fucking hole in his chest, right? right? Sky is the most popular character on this channel, even though she knocks over Transformers. Let's transform you. You don't transform. But as far as changes, yes, the paint, you can see where, you know, they went with opaque and then they blasted a hole in his chest. So kind of painted the windshield or what's left of it. Here it's clear. The expression on the face, he's like, oh, I just got shot. Every time I get shot on the chest, Prime, my circuits sizzle. Where here I have the stoic face on. Now, other changes in deco, there's not a ton other than the painting and the face. The gray looks about the same shade. The guns look the same. I'm not really seeing any major differences. Unless they're so subtle I can't see them. Maybe when he's in vehicle mode. These two pieces here are clear on the top, or on the back of his legs. These are just molded in, they're not clear at all. Opaque plastic, but pretty much the same, except of course for the gaping hole in his chest. So let's take a look at the vehicle mode, see if there's any differences there. Of course he does have the two guns. I'm gonna put his over here so I don't mix them up. All right, no wait, that's a different franchise. There we go. So again, back window is painted on the new Studio Series, the old one. Does not have any clear or paint at all. Top looks pretty much the same. Bottom, of course, looks the same. There may be a slight difference, though it's hard to tell, in the red coloring. The red color might be exactly the same. It's very, very difficult to tell. This looks duller back here on the original, and this one looks slightly brighter, but there are variations. But there they are, vehicle mode. The only weird thing is the really smash-in windshield. And the black on the handles of the guns are the same. The silver looks about the same. And they both roll equally well. So overall, the nice thing about this is it's got the yellow stripe. This one does not, but it'd be nice to see the yellow stripe on the one that's still alive, not the dead one. I don't know, I'm sure someone can figure out an insert to go in there to like cover up the damage. I'm sure it's already been being worked on at some point. And Sky's back. Hey, Sky, you're just in time. So yes, it's an interesting homage to a very dark time in Transformers history, right? You weren't happy when they died either, were you? Every time I see this kitty cat, my circuit sizzle. You are such a lovely kitty. I like petting you. So there they are now. Someone had asked, as far as the scaling, how they scaled with one of the Masterpiece minis that I reviewed before. And there he is. So you can see Optimus Prime standing behind the two friends, comrades, brothers in arms. He's about to send to die. But yeah, that Masterpiece Prime that's in another video, which I'll link to so you can check it out, is actually a pretty good fit. But if you want, you can always break out your Transformers the movie Starscream and have him blast these guys to oblivion if you're morbid like that. So you can set up your own death scene for these guys, and Starscream and Megatron are responsible. Except, you know, I didn't break out Scrapper, because fuck him, for killing Prowl. So anyways, these guys are, again, a great homage to that scene, to the death of two heroes. Started as a joke, is now in our hands. So yeah, Sky is very sad about Ironhide, as you can tell, and trying to chew on his gun. Oh, the set's like $55, Target exclusive, but I'll put some links. While you are mulling these over, as I said, those Masterpiece Primes, I did a review over here. I may have slightly mistransformed something. Sue me, they're complicated. And again, we'll see you next time. And as always, have fun and good hunting. Just not for me.